War Party. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. War Party is a real-time strategy game set in the Stone Age era. Build your base, recruit and control a group of soldiers, fight and tame fierce dinosaurs, and direct the flow of combat. Proper management of resources, skills and map awareness will lead you to victory. Yes guys, it's an RTS game, one of my favourite genres. I love real-time strategy games. I've liked them ever since Dune 2. I think that was the first one I ever played, probably on the Amiga, and I've just fell in love with them ever since. I just love the whole idea of building a base, building an army, managing the resources and then attacking another enemy and wiping his base out. It's just there's just something about that. And this one's set in the Stone Age era, so instead of tanks and stuff like that, you've got Triceratops and T-Rex and stuff like that, which is a breath of fresh air really. I can't really remember playing a one in the Stone Age era. It reminded me a lot of Warcraft. If any of you's played Warcraft 3, it's a bit like that. Only it's not as deep. You don't have the sort of the leveling up and the things that you had in War Party that you had in Warcraft, which is a bit disappointing. But we are getting a remake of Warcraft 3 this year, I believe. So that's something to look forward to. Options wise, there's not a hell of a lot for the audio and graphics. You can change a few little bits and bobs, and it does look nice. It's like cartoony. It just looks nice. It's the kind of game when you look at it, you think, oh yeah, I fancy playing that. You have to have decent graphics in an RTS, and this does kind of tick that box. Sound wise, it's fine. A lot of the voiceover acting in this is it's a bit comical. A lot of them sound like The Simpsons. I don't know, Grandpa Simpson. But it's quite mildly amusing, I would say. They kind of talk like cavemen, Uma Tuma, you have boobas. Well, they don't say that, but it's like, yeah, that kind of stuff, which kind of adds to the atmosphere of the game. Game mode wise, there's 3 campaigns for 3 different factions. Then it says that they're unique, but well, obviously they are kind of unique, but they share a shit ton of similarities. There's not a massive amount of difference between the two. Between the 3 rather, one can tame dinosaurs, the other 2 can't. One has he's like an undead. He's my favourite, and he has zombies. He spawns zombies and stuff like that. So there's the 3 campaigns. There's only about 6 missions per campaign though, which is a bit of a shame. There's skirmish mode against the AI. You can play that co-op with your friends, but the biggest map is only 3v3, which is very disappointing. Needs way more maps. There's not a lot of maps in there either. There's multiplayer, but which I didn't even bother, because you're just going to get tank rushed after 4 minutes by Mr. Shaky Legs. There's a King of the Hill mode, which is reasonably fun, where you have to capture a certain area of ground, and then if you hold it for a certain amount of time, you win. And then there's survival mode, which basically is lots of enemies spawning in and attacking you. They can spawn in anywhere on the map and just start attacking your base, and they go in waves, and each wave gets progressively harder. So it'll start with just like 1 unit, then 2, then 3. That's quite fun as well. Although if you're playing as the Necro guy, you can just keep spawning in tons of zombies, but it's still fun. I still enjoyed my time on that. But the main thing is the campaigns. Now, unfortunately, the enemy cheats. Whenever I play an RTS game, I always check to see if the enemy's playing by the rules. Is he doing what I'm doing? Does he have to build all the same stuff to spawn in his units to create them? Or does he cheat? Does the game just say, hey, look, mate, there's no one fucking knocking here. There you go, there's 6 units. Just go on, don't say now, don't tell them I sent them. Just there's 6 fucking units right there. Oh, you want some more? Alright, there you go. I'll spawn them in the shadows. Just there. There you go. There's some more. You want more? Fucking hell. Are you shit or something? Alright, there's another 6. Look, there's 10. There's 10. Yeah, that's this game. I don't like games when they do that. It really pisses me off. So, be prepared if you're playing the campaign to kind of get cheated out of your vote. That's not going to Brexit. But the bottom line, guys, is it fun and how does it play? Well, it plays the same way as every other RTS game. You have little worker guys who you send out to harvest the resources. There's 2 resources you need in this. There's crystals and food. Everything kind of takes either crystals or food or both. So that means your buildings, that means your units, that means everything. There's also things you can capture on the map called shrines, which give you energy, and energy is used, it's like mana. Imagine energy is mana, and you use that to cast spells, and each faction has a different set of spells. Some could be firing meteorites down, others can be spawning in zombies and things like that. They have about 5 different spells each. There's a lot of them are buffs for your units and things like that. As for your actual different types of units, well, you have a very limited amount, really. I mean, each faction has different units, but they all kind of go into the same category. You've got your melee kind of units, sort of your tough melee units. You've got your archers, then you've got your mounted melee, then you've got your mounted archers. You've got your healers, or your like priests, necromancer kind of things. You've got your main guy, your hero, if you like. They're all completely different. Like I said at the beginning, one of them can tame dinosaurs, one can spawn in zombies and things like that. You also have the big tanky guy that's it's a big golem for the necro guys. There's like a mammoth, one of the others. So it follows the rules of every other RTS, but there aren't any air units in this. It's all strictly on the ground. I would have liked to see some pterodactyls and stuff like that. Now, I have finished the campaign on the Necro, and I'm halfway through it on the others, and I've done about 5 skirmish games. I've played King of the Hill and Survival, so I've kind of tested all the modes out of this game, and I have to say, guys, that it is fun. I mean, I have had fun playing it. I don't know how long I've played the game because I've had Steam in offline mode for most of the time, but it felt around about 10 hours that I've probably put into this. It's alright, it's £20. It's not going to break your bank, but it's still not cheap. But you do get a lot of different types of content. It's just that there's not enough of any of it. The campaign didn't feel long enough. The skirmish maps, there's not enough of them. And I just kind of wanted more. I wanted more of the bigger maps, and I just didn't quite get them. I kind of like the really big maps, the 8v8s, the 6v6s, and all I got was 3v3. And also the AI cheats in skirmish mode as well. It just cheats. It's a right fucking cheating bastard, the AI. It tends to be triggered to cheat if you take a shrine. When you take a shrine, it starts sending waves at you. I don't know how long them waves will last because I keep dying when I was trying to defend it. As you can see here, there's no way that the AI could have that many units at this early on in the game. It's just cheating, which kind of sucks. But on the plus side, it does make it a little bit more of a challenge in skirmish mode because it isn't that hard to beat. And there are 5 difficulty levels ranging from easy to very hard, but the kind of mid and hard levels I haven't really had any issues on whatsoever. But there is a bigger problem with this game, and it's unbelievable, guys. It doesn't have a save for when you play in the campaign. It does in skirmish mode. If you play in a skirmish battle, you can save anytime you like, switch your PC off, go and do something else, come back and carry on the battle. But if you're in a mid-mission in the campaign, you can't do that. You literally cannot save. If you finish your mission in the campaign, it saves you progress so that when you come back, you can play the next mission. But if you're in the middle of a mission, and bear in mind some of these missions have took me over an hour, well, you're kind of screwed. Now, I have looked into this with the developer and read a few posts and stuff. The developer is actually working on a save. I think they said that it'll be released pretty soon, so that is going to be fixed. But I can't believe that they've actually released the game without a save in the campaign. That's just what the hell, mate. Now, overall, this game isn't too bad. It's not going to win any awards for RTS of the Year, that's for sure. It's not my favourite RTS game. It doesn't have the air units that I would have liked. It's a little bit clunky on some of the pathfinding, but it wasn't too much of a problem. It just seems like a basic RTS game. It's not deep at all. Even the perks, there's just a few different perks that you can choose from for each faction. But it does have a lot of different game modes, and that's going to keep you coming back to play a bit more. And as the developers add a little bit more content to the game, we may get some bigger maps in the future, and that's what this game needs. It needs bigger maps, 6v6, 8v8. It needs more of that. It needs more maps for the other modes as well. King of the Hill, there's only one map. I'd like to see that in co-op as well. I'd like to see survival in co-op. Survival mode is pretty interesting, and it would be fantastic in co-op. Not sure why you can't do that, but that would be certainly something to add to the game to make it a little bit better. I'm going to thumb this up, but I will say that if this game did not have a save in the making, I would have middle thumbed it for that alone. But it's getting a thumb up simply because I am enjoying it. It isn't a bad game, but like I say, it isn't going to win RTS of the Year.